from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening. This is the National News Telecast. I'm Movin Hettiarachchi.
And I'm Kasani Balachandra. Here are your top stories for tonight.
The central bank to release a circular to bring down bank loan interest tomorrow. Restrictions on mortgage interest and credit card interest ratios. Steps to develop Trincomalee as an economic hub. The Minister of Education says as a result of injunction orders of the judiciary, it has become impossible to fill teacher vacancies. The government says adequate rice stocks exist until the receipt of the Maha season harvest. India, after the Chandrayaan success, aims to explore the sun as well. Ukraine says they are not connected to the death of the leader of the Wagner mercenary group. On to those and more stories in detail. On today's top story, Governor of Central Bank Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe says that a circular relating to bringing down the credit interest ratios maintained by the banks will be issued tomorrow.
He further says the objective is to directly hand over to the general public the relief accrued as a result of the reduction of interest rates by the central bank. He also points out that the central bank will also take measures to impose maximum limits on mortgage interests as well as on credit cards and all credit loan interest ratios. Upon conclusion of yesterday's Central Bank Monetary Board meeting, the 6th Financial Policy Review was presented. The governor of the bank at a media briefing held in this connection today said that it has been decided to stabilize the prevailing interest rates. Accordingly, standing deposit facility rate and the standing lending facility rate of the central bank will be maintained at their current levels of 11% and 12% respectively. The central bank has also decided to maintain the mortgage interest rate at a maximum annual limit of 18% and the annual provisional overdraft facility ratio agreed upon earlier at a limit of 23%. It has also been decided to maintain a maximum credit card annual interest rate at 28%. The governor further stated that the bank would resort to administrative action to bring down the interest rates currently prevailing at a higher level in licensed banks.
We have looked at the banking sector stability is obviously important one, and if you can remember, banking sector had a lot more concerns before the announcement of DDO, and after the announcement we have seen the largely impact of structuring has been addressed. As a result, banks also agreed that they will pass that benefit to the customers while preserving financial stability. I don't think profitability is to look at what's important factor for profitability is net interest margins. So that has been widened in the transition period. That is where I think we think they should be able to maintain whatever the reasonable profitability while passing the benefit of reducing deposit rates and the lending rates and the gap between those two. Adjustment and reasonable margin will ensure they should be able to maintain the profitability going forward.
The general public expects a rapid relief from the banking sector in connection to the latest moves made by the central bank. Would it be possible a goal to achieve in a short period? We asked the former Dean of the University of Colombo's Economic Hub, Venerable Professor Vijitapure Vimalaratna Thera.
Now we can see country is experiencing stabilization policies. One of them is reducing interest rate in the country. Central bank has reduced its interest rates in the past. Now policy rate is in between 11 and 12% annually. But there is a concern. Commercial banks and other financial institutions have not reduced their interest rates, reflecting what central bank has taken regarding the interest rates. If you want to pick up your economy, if you want to see economic growth in your country, interest rate should go down. However, commercial banks have bad experience due to underperforming loans in the past, so that banks are not in a strong position to reduce their interest rates.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe says measures will be taken to develop Trincomalee as an economic centre with the assistance of the Indian government.
The President has made these observations participating in a special meeting on the development of the Trincomalee district held at the Trincomalee Air Force Base today. The objective of the government is to turn Trincomalee district into a hub of power and energy, transport, ports, shipping, aviation and tourism. Land is a major factor in the development process. The President has pointed out that failure to maintain land management in an appropriate manner would make it impossible to realize the anticipated development targets. The President, focusing attention on management of state lands and Mahaweli lands, ordered officials to submit him a report on provision of lands during the period of 2019 to 2023 within a week. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that the convened meeting today was dedicated to deliberate upon the development initiatives within the Eastern Province, with particular emphasis on the Trincomalee district. The President further said that a comprehensive plan has been formulated by Surbana Jurong pertaining to the Trincomalee district's development, supported by an established agreement between Sri Lanka and India. It is vital that the accord to be executed. The development strategy entails a meticulously crafted program aimed at the enhancement of the Kumana coastal stretch extending from Virugal Aru to Panama. This expanse is envisioned to be harnessed for the advancement of the tourism sector. He said that simultaneously a blueprint is in place for the establishment of modernized agriculture within the vicinity, and the model is intended to be extended to other areas within the Eastern Province as well. The active involvement of both the Mahaweli Authority and the Land Department is envisaged in these pursuits. The President, anticipating an evolution in Trincomalee's fishing, agriculture and tourism sectors, said the strategic goal is to elevate Trincomalee to a prominent commercial centre. He further said that the trajectory of development is to extend to Batiklo and Ampara as well. The resolution of land-related issues, particularly concerning Mahaweli designated land, is pivotal for the advancement of these endeavours. Pertinently, the execution of the Trincomalee Development Plan encompasses the acquisition of land in accordance with the 1985 Mahaweli scheme. The President added that, however, there have been instances of land parcels within the Eastern Province being gazetted without the requisite approval of the Cabinet.
Minister Susil Premajayant says that it has not been possible to fill existing teacher vacancies as a result of the injunction orders of the judiciary. The Minister reported a query raised by Samagi Jana Balavegia parliamentarian Rohini Kaviratne in Parliament today. Parliamentarian Rohini Kaviratne said that the Education Minister himself had stated earlier that there would be around 32,000 to 33,000 teacher vacancies in Sri Lanka. A member has inquired as to how, under such circumstances, schools function without having principals and show good exam results. The parliamentarian added she believed that the existing circular is extremely unreasonable and requested the minister to withdraw it.
චක්‍රලේඛය ඉවත් කරගන්නා ලෙස දැනුම් දෙන්න කියලා ඔබතුමාට මම පළවෙනියට යෝජනා කරනවා. මේක අත්‍යවශ්‍යම මධ්‍යම පළාතේ පළාත් අධ්‍යක්ෂ නිකුත් කරන්න පුළුවන් ලිපියක් නෙවෙයි.
Minister Susil Premajayant said that policy decisions pertaining to professional matters in education sectors are being taken by the Ministry of Education. He said that he will instruct to annul the order and add 3 years ago 22,000 development officers were assigned to schools without proper examination. A group has prevented these recruits undergoing training by obtaining restraining orders from the Supreme Court. He said that injunction orders are not a permanent in nature, and he has requested the Minister of Justice to bring amendments to the civil case code by presenting a time frame for the injunction order. He added these injustices perpetrated on children as a result of these actions are not being discussed.
ඔබතුමා ගේන සංශෝධනයක් සිවිල් නඩු විධාන සංග්‍රහයට අතුරු තහනම් නියෝගයක් නිකුත් කරනවා නම් ඒ තහනම් නියෝගයේ කාල සීමාවක් දාන්න ඕනේ අපි. අපි මේ පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ ඉන්නේ ඒකට. නියෝගය දීලා තහනම් කළා යම් ක්‍රියාවක් ඊළඟ දින දෙන්නේ මාස 6කින්. ඒක අතුරුද? අධිකරණයට යනවා සාධාරණයේ බලාපොරොත්තු වෙයි. මේ දරුවන්ට වෙන අසාධාරණ ගැන කවුරුත් කතා කරන්නේ නැහැ. ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨාධිකරණයේ එක විනිශ්චය
Minister Vijayadasa Rajapaksa said that he is ready to discuss on the issue of issuance of injunction orders and to formulate an appropriate legal policy. The minister has acknowledged the fact that entire school system appears to be collapsing due to the inability to appoint principals as a result of these restraining orders. The minister has recalled the incidents after Justice Mark Fernando resolving a case pertaining to not admitting a child to school by ordering the relevant principal to appear in court in the same afternoon. The minister has reiterated on the need for a speedy resolution of the court cases.
Minister Mahinda Amaravira says that the existing rice stocks are sufficient until receipt of harvest of the upcoming Maha season. He reiterates that therefore there's no need to import rice. The minister has made these remarks addressing a meeting of intellectuals held under the theme Modernization of the Agricultural Sector and its Challenges at the President's office yesterday. Attention has also been focused at this occasion on the price increases of paddy and rice. Minister Amaravira has further pointed out that an appropriate mechanism has to be processed on price control without subjecting the consumer towards inconvenience.
Patients have been subjected to severe difficulties as a result of the one-day token strike organized by paramedics of professionals in hospitals island-wide. Joint Council for Professionals for Supplementary Medicine says the work stoppage was commenced seeking a solution to 7 demands. The strike, which has commenced at 8 a.m. today, is scheduled to be conducted until 8 a.m. tomorrow. The 7 factors presented for the strike include delaying of recruitments, not issuing a circular on promotions for the grades, implementation of unreasonable disciplinary orders, and obstructing officials engaged in voluntary service. The trade union says radiology technicians, laboratory technicians, pharmacists, physiotherapists, professional therapists are engaged in work stoppage. Our correspondent says due to the strike action, treatment and issuance of medicine have been destabilized in radiation services and orthopedic treatments in all related hospitals. India now focuses attention on the solar exploration project upon the success of the Chandrayaan moon mission of moon landing.
The Indian Space Agency said that the Chandrayaan-3 moon exploration project was successfully implemented.
The moon lander named Vikram safely landed on the southern polar region of the moon last evening. Indian scientists say that the moon rover named Pragyan was engaged in initial moon exploration and was sending signals with clarity to Earth. The vehicle travelling between lunar rocks are sending data based on their analysis. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has extended his congratulations over the successful Chandrayaan moon mission in a message sent to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The President further says Sri Lanka is extremely proud of this historic and excellent achievement.
In the meantime, large crowds have reported to have flocked to watch the Kumbal Perhera of the Kandy Asala festival, which paraded the streets for the 4th time tonight.
Who was carrying the ChannelEye Rupavahini Corporation is ready to bring all the updates and details relating to the 2023 Asala Festival during the period of these 10 days.
The glamour and the main attraction of the Asal Festival of the Sri Dalada Maligava in Kandy is the participation of hundreds of elephants and tuskers in this mega cultural pageant.
The staff reporter of Rupavahini News Division, Asanka Nilagaratna, produced a series of picture stories highlighting the specialties of those majestic jumpers. In today's story, we are going to witness the bathing mission in connection with these jumpers, which are now in Kandy. Let's have a look. It is not an easy task to look after these domesticated elephants. Attention has to be focused on many factors including food, water and health in this connection. Our presentation on Majestic Tuskers today mainly deals with the bathing of these elephants. Some practices are being carried out from generations to generations. The main tool used in bathing these animals is the coconut husk. There's a special methodology in preparing this item as an instrument to clean the animals. As the elephants have a very rough skin, the brushing eliminates dirt and cleanses the animal appropriately. It has also been found out that elephants have an extreme liking towards bathing.
A debate on Sri Lankan cricket was held in Parliament today. It was conducted according to a proposal presented by Samagi Janabala Vegaya parliamentarian Hesha Vithanage. Parliamentarian Hesha Vithanage said the objective of the groups to seeking control of the Cricket Institute appears to be only collecting votes, but they are not concerned about the condition of the playing fields.
කිට්ටු වෙන වෙලාව වෙනකොට අවශ්‍ය මුදල් ටික සන්තෝෂන් ටික වුන් සතුරු කරන්න අවශ්‍ය ක්‍රමවේදය හදාගෙන කල්ලියක් මේකට හැගෙන ඉන්නවා. තුලි මුලින්ම කියනවා මේ රටේ ක්‍රිකට් ක්‍රීඩා විනාශ කරන්න හැදිච්ච මේ ව්‍යවස්ථාව වෙනස් කරන්න ගරු ඇමතුමනි
හිටපු ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨ අධිකරණ විනිසුරු කේටි චිත්‍රසිරි මැතිතුමාගේ නායකත්වය.
Minister Roshan Ranasinghe said that the committee was appointed under the leadership of former Supreme Court Judge K.T. Chitrasiri to find out how to bring the new charter and to improve it through an act. The minister also said board of directors comprising of chartered accountants, bar association members, Chamber of Commerce and the Sri Lanka Director Association have been appointed to regulate the activities of the sport associations. A new charter will be formed giving votes rights to cricket associations, umpire associations and coacher associations.
A decision has been taken to construct a prefabricated terminal to minimize air passenger congestion at Katunayaka. At present, passenger arrivals and departure have reached nearly 25,000, causing severe congestion at the Katunayaka Bandaranaike International Airport, authorities reveal. Construction of the second terminal to resolve the issue has been implemented, while Airport and Aviation Services Limited has decided to install a prefabricated terminal as an immediate measure.
Health Security and Scholarship Presentation Programme of the United Kingdom is scheduled to recommence this year, and the UK has focused attention on the commencement of the second stage of the programme in Sri Lanka. The acting British High Commissioner in Sri Lanka and a group of representatives Fleming Fund of the British Department of Health, Social Security and a special meeting with Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena at the Temple Trees yesterday. The Health Security Presentation Programme stalled in the previous years due to the COVID pandemic is expected to be recommenced in January next year. The Prime Minister has extended thanks to Britain for selecting Sri Lanka as one of those beneficiaries of the programme. A series of publications on English language training strategies of the British Council was presented to the Prime Minister on this occasion.
A ceremony to felicitate an excellent actress in Sinhala cinema, Swarna Malavarachi, was held in Brisbane in Australia recently. The event was conducted in recognition of 50 years of indelible cinematic contribution of Swarna Malavarachi, who has become popular as the actress of the critics of Sinhala cinema. The ceremony has been organised by Sri Lankan entrepreneurs, including residents at Brisbane City, Chandrakanti Vikramasinghe and Ramya Tennakon. The keynote address was delivered by lecturer on marketing strategies at the Queensland University, Professor Jayasiri Veerawardena. The movie Dadayama of Vasanto Besekara, which is considered as the epitome of the movie career of actress Mala.
The recipient of the biggest salary arrears received by a domestic maid in recent history has arrived in Sri Lanka from Kuwait at dawn today. She was entitled to a salary arrears amounting to 2,400 Kuwaiti dinars. In Sri Lankan currency, this equals to 2,510,400 rupees. The recipient is 46-year-old Janita Dayalika of Koal, a mother of one child. She has gone for domestic service in a residence in the state of Kuwait in 2019. She was not given any payment despite engaging in her good job for numerous difficulties. The Colombo Foreign Services Employment Bureau has filed complaints in this regard in Sri Lankan Embassy in Kuwait, requesting an immediate investigation into the issue. According to the investigation, it has been found although Janita Dalika was engaged in service for more than 3.5 years, she was paid only for a period of 1 year and 3 months.
The Mahavihara Vanchika Sri Lanka Ramanya Mahanikaya says that the passing away of Most Venerable Nethagamue Vijaya Maitri Anunayaka Thera is an irreparable loss to the Buddha Sasana and to the country in general. The demise of the Anunayaka Thera at a time when the society is engulfed with distortion is unbearable. The late prelate held the distinguished positions of Deputy Registrar and the President of the Development Council of Sri Lanka Ramanya Mahanikaya.
A special centenary commemoration in connection with the establishment of the Joseph Fraser Memorial Hospital in Colombo was held at the hospital premises today. It was the year 1923 that Joseph Fraser Hospital was established in Kapatipula Mawatha, Colombo 5 by the family members in memory of the popular British planter at the time, Joseph Fraser. Family members, including the granddaughter of Joseph Fraser, have participated in today's ceremony. They have planted a sapling in the hospital premises to symbolize the 100th anniversary.
Foreign news on the other side of this break.
Hot and spicy fun vibe එක විවර කරන්න beat එක remake කරන්න to win හදවත වවලා යන්න කිංගර fashion කරන්න fun උතුරන්න කොත්තමි kick එක මෙන්න TikTok viral යනවා නැතිල trending වෙනවා hot sauce නැවසෙනවා spicy රස වැටහෙනවා prima කොත්තමි fun තමයි.
On foreign news, Russian authorities say Yevgeny Prigozhin, who revolted against Vladimir Putin in last June, is suspected to have been killed in a plane crash in western Russia.
Although Ukraine's President Zelensky says Kyiv had nothing to do with the plane crash. Russian authorities say each of the 10 individuals on board were killed after the confidential airplane approached the town of Kuzhinskino. The passengers, including Prigozhin, who is the head of mercenary group Wagner, and his right-hand man Dmitry Utkin. The airplane owned by Prigozhin was flying from Moscow to St. Petersburg with 7 travelers and 3 team members when it crashed in the War district of Russia. It is reported that all 10 bodies have been recovered. Wagner Group has claimed through social media channels that the plane carrying Yevgeny was shot down. This claim has not been provided with evidence, however, and Russian state minister, rather the state media, said the airplane burst into flames after hitting the ground.
Prima Kutumi, Pantamai.
Now to sports news. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena was the chief guest at the 47th National Sports Festival, which commenced at the Sugadda Stadium in Colombo today.
760 male and female sports personnel representing all the 9 provinces take part in this event. It has been jointly organized by the Ministry of Sports and the Department of Sports Development. Finals in 8 events and preliminary competitions in 8 events were conducted today. Members of the Sri Lanka cricket team were engaged in an observation tour at the Lady Ridgeway Children's Hospital in Colombo today with the objective of making successful of the Little Hearts project. Captain of the Sri Lanka Limited Over cricket team Dasun Shanaka, captain of the test team Dimut Kannaratna and head coach were also included in the tour. A sum of 100 million rupees earned through the recently concluded Lanka Premier League cricket tournament was donated to the Little Hearts project.
Prima Kutumi, Pantamai.
That's it for tonight's English News Telecast. Thank you for joining us and good night.
Good night.